The reason why Democrats and Republicans were not able to find agreement on the underlying DHS appropriations bill is because never before in the history of our nation has a federal agency been run so far off the rails as the Department of Homeland Security. Every day, this agency is breaking the law at scale and wasting billions of taxpayer dollars. DHS does not implement the law any longer. It makes up the law. 10,000 times in the short 18 months this administration has run DHS, judges have overturned this agency's immigration decisions. Essentially, every case that gets before a judge gets overturned. The agency has locked up American citizens. It has killed peaceful protesters just for getting in the way. It has applied a completely made-up set of immigration laws and deported hundreds of thousands of immigrants who broke no laws, who were playing by the rules, who had legitimate claims to stay in the United States.
You know, I do have an opening statement here, but wow, Senator Murphy, the outlandish claims you made there is just flat wrong. You start saying we're breaking the law, and you really start looking at it, and we're enforcing the laws that Congress did pass. That's reckless. When you start saying it's unconstitutional, what's unconstitutional that we're doing? We swore to uphold the Constitution, just like you swore to uphold the Constitution. For you to throw my 275,000 employees underneath DHS and with a broad stroke like that is reckless and irresponsible on your part. We're doing the job that Congress gave us the authority to do. And our men and women out there every single day is enforcing the laws. If you don't like the laws, you can change them. We're not picking and choosing which laws we enforce. We're simply enforcing the law, period, full stop.
Now that you are on the job, can you commit to us that if a court judges something ICE is doing, something DHS is doing as illegal and unconstitutional, tells you to stop, that you will comply with the court order?
Ranking Member Murphy, I will tell you that we will never break the Constitution, and we're not going to break the law, but we're going to enforce our nation's laws. And we're going to enforce the laws that you guys passed and that we implement. We will never go outside that, and if we do, we'll hold each other accountable for that.
But that doesn't sound like the same thing as committing that you will obey a court order.
If we didn't think courts were politicized, then I would probably be able to answer that. But we see courts over and over again that use their bench for their political opinion, not just the rule of law. So and we can see that because we see how many times they're overturned.
Choose which court orders you obey based upon whether you believe that
what I said
to be
political. Don't put words in my mouth.
That's what are you saying then?
What I'm saying is we'll enforce the law and we're never going to break the Constitution.
You just said that you will not follow every court order because you believe the
Chris, Senator, don't start putting words in my mouth. That's not what I said. I said I will never break the Constitution. We're going to enforce the law.
Will you implement court orders when they tell you to stop an activity?
You're making an assumption on court orders I haven't seen.
Will you or will you not?
I am going to enforce the law, and I'll never break the Constitution.
I think, listen, if you're a Republican or Democrat on this committee, you should be really freaked out.
We should be really concerned about the rulings that come out of the courts and how often they get overturned.
It falls apart if you are telling me that you...
They fall apart when you have a judge that makes a political opinion from a bench and they're outside the law too. Not all judges are above the law, but sometimes they think they are. That's why we see lower courts get overturned by higher courts constantly.
Let me ask you about what's happening in...
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.